Ashley
and Tinsley,
and today we're going to show you how to do 2 French braids into a braided bun. Okay, to start we're going to do a center part right over the nose all the way to the top of the back of her head. Then from there we're going to, from the crown of her head, make a part that goes right behind her ear. So we're going to go right there to right behind her ear. I like to use a rat tail comb because it usually makes a really good clean part. And then once you've done that part, you're going to section off this front area. So then after you have that sectioned off, we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so now that you have the two sections parted off, should look something like this. Goes from one ear to the other with a center part right down the middle. Then you are going to take this big section in the back and you're actually going to make just a ponytail with it. I like to spray water and spray gel into it. Before I style it, I brush the spray gel through so that it will help with the flyaways. Then you're going to set this ponytail pretty low in this section so that you want it low enough that you're not going to have a high bun up here, but you also don't want it so low that you can't do your braided bun and pin it on the bottom. So you'll want to have a little section at the bottom that you can secure your bun to. So I like to brush it through quite a bit before I put it in, just to make sure it's nice and neat. Right in the middle, pretty low, but so you have some area to pin that bun when we create it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one section out at a time and we're gonna French braid this hair. And when we start braiding, we want to start at the tip and we're going to go diagonally and we're going to want to end our braid right in the middle of that. I like to brush all my hair where I'm wanting it to go. So since we're wanting it to go to the middle part, that's where I'm guiding all the hair so that when I start braiding, it will naturally go to where I want it. When I start braiding, I'm going to take a small section in the front, a triangle, and if you have a lot of flyaways up here, you might want to use a little extra gel so that they can become secure. Then we're going to take 3 pieces, 3 separate pieces, and we're going to start braiding them. This is what's called a stitch. So when you braid a French braid, we're going over. Every time you're going over. And then we're going to take a small section, you're going to add it in to your stitch. And while you're adding, you want to make sure that you're pulling tight to really secure all your hair nice and neat. to your very last couple pieces, you want to make sure that that braid is where you want it to be facing, because if it's not in the right place, when you pull it back, it's going to get little lumps or whatever. So you want to make sure those pieces are nice and tight and that braid is positioned where you want it to go. So we're going to add in this last piece. And then I like to brush through the bottom before I continue my braid. And make sure you're braiding it towards the ponytail so that you can see if you're going to have any lumps that you'd like to fix. All right, then I'm going to secure the end of this braid with an elastic. And I know that there's not going to be any crazy bumps because I know that this braid can go right down to the ponytail where I need it to be. If you do have any bumps that you don't love, you can always just get a little bobby pin, grab it, and then push it up and under the braid, and you can't even see it. See that? That looks great. So we're going to eventually secure that there, but first we're going to do the same thing. The exact same thing on the other side. Make sure you follow the same route that you took with the first braid so that it's even. All right, now that I have you two braids and they're positioned where you'd like them to, we're going to attach them like this. But first we're going to take this ponytail, we're going to put it into just a regular 3-strand braid. You actually could do one of two things at this point. You can take these and you can attach them, then you can undo these two little braids and then add that into this big braid and then just have that as your braid. I prefer to actually just attach it to the big braid like this because I think it gives it a little bit more volume. So I just used a clear elastic and I'm gonna attach those two braids right there. So now you have your braids, and if you want your bun to be a little bit more full, you can always do a thing called pancaking. Before I pancake, I actually like to spray the braid with a little bit of hairspray, wipe down those flyaways, and then I'll pancake it, and then once I pancake it, I'll spray it again. So pancaking is just taking very carefully the edges of your braids and pulling them out just to make it look like your braid is much more full. This is helpful for those girls who have thinner hair, who you just want a little bit bigger bun. So you can do that to this one and if you want to do it with this one. So as I go to wrap my bun, I always pick one side and start wrapping it around. I then, before I even wrap the next part around, I'm going to secure that first wrap with a bobby pin. Then I have these two little ends that I'm kind of just going to wrap around with my bun. And I'm going to tuck those ends underneath the braid. I don't know if you can see that. Then once you have your braids or your bun set, you can take more bobby pins. I like to just grab a little piece that's closest to the head. nice and tucked in so that when they're dancing, even have your dancer shake your head. And does your bun feel safe? Does it feel like it's secure? Okay, now that you have your whole hairstyle all set and ready to go, I would just take some hairspray, spray over the top. Really good. Make sure that's all set and ready for your competition.